Thank you. Any questions?
Over here. Where the story came from, like what inspired it?
I have been friends with Jazzy Demissa, who plays Anna, and Adriana Blower, who plays Emily, since they were 12. And I became Facebook friends with them when Facebook started. And I realised that when they would call me, they'd call me about their boyfriend troubles and their school troubles. And I would hear their voices, and I remember being a teenage girl. But then I'd see how they interacted with each other on Facebook and sort of, as a voyeur, sort of watch this world in a way that we never had. So I was thinking that teenage girls haven't changed, but their world has. And I just sort of then took that to one of the darkest places it could go. And kind of a little bit fascinated with Japanese suicide and this sort of rampant with teenage girls there and sort of married the two together. So that's kind of where it came from. It wasn't autobiographical. So. Yeah.
I noticed at least like 3 or 4 shots where it's just focused on like a pelican. Enough so that I thought it must be like a specific choice as opposed to like atmospheric. And I was just wondering what the significance.
I think it's we watch each other on Facebook and he watches us in the real world. So it was just everyone's watching everyone kind of thing. And he looked cool. And I could get him with my lens. So the first answer is the one that we should print. Yes.
My question is, after, I'd say 3 of the 5 girls seem to resolve their issues and come to some sort of hopeful, going on with their life. Why do you think she chose to go ahead and kill them anyway?
Yeah, she's been getting that question a lot now. She's got very good at the answer now. But I think what it is that Anna she's doing what she thinks is best for everyone, and they started this plan. And so even when Abigail says I want to go home, but she's drinking the anti-freeze as she's saying it, she just says drink that and we'll talk about it kind of thing. But I think from Anna's point of view, it was that she has had suicide in the family, and each one of these girls represents the 5 main reasons why teenage girls kill themselves. So that each one stands for a demographic. So with her, it's a big thing is if you had a parent commit suicide, because it becomes an option in your vocabulary. So for her, she knew what she's been through and what her mother's been through. So in her eyes, these girls were going to do it anyway. And this plan has already started. And so she's almost sort of, in a sick way, protecting their families from the suicide fallout rather than the murder fallout, which in their eyes is better. And suicide, I've come to realise, showing it to these audiences and having people come up to us afterwards is not something that's talked about very much. And so it's kind of opened up that conversation as well, which is really for people who are families of people who have been lost. So, but yeah, I think she's doing the right thing. So, whether she is or not is an entirely different story, but that's what she thinks.
Right over on the aisle.
Please define the message that you want to send to this movie.
The message is, we were very careful with it. I didn't want to preach, I didn't want to teach, but I wanted to disturb. And that was sort of the fundamental. And I did an awful lot of test screenings throughout the film with teenage girls. And their response was really important to me, because I didn't want to glamorize it, and I didn't want to copycats, and I didn't want... the responses we've had since then, and in the test screenings, have been incredible, because what it does is there's so much... With teenagers now, there is so much of this, and so much of this, and they forget to do this. And we've had a lot of parents come up to us too, because it's a tangible thing that you can talk about, and that's what I wanted. I wanted you to drop the kid off at the cinema, pick them up, you've watched it, and you just talk. And we had a question from a group of ladies who weren't sure if they would show this film to their daughters, and I totally understand that. But then we had this other little girl, she was 16, a girl called Alison, stood up and said, I'd like to answer that question. I said, okay, go for it. And she said that she had tried to commit suicide at 14, and that she had written a letter, and she didn't know how to talk to her mum. And the letter was found by the vice principal, then it went to her mother, and that started the conversation. But she said that to the ladies, that she said, I wish that I had just some way to talk to her and to say it. Because one of the sort of, and this is all based on research, and all of the stuff in the chat rooms is taken literally word for word. You can type in, I want to die, how can I die? And you go straight to the chat room. So this isn't something that we've made up, this exists. And I'm just putting a spot, as a filmmaker, I'm putting a spotlight on it and asking people to talk about it. So But anyway, so she just said that that's what, if she had had this film, she would have been able to talk to her mum. And it's literally, it'd be like, which girl do you identify with? Or just quietly starting this conversation. And one of the biggest things with teenage suicides is they say it. They will tell you, I'm going to kill myself. And parents afterwards, when they've lost a child, go, why didn't I listen? Because it just sounds so dramatic and so far removed, I think, from when you do get older, you have a bit of perspective, and your life isn't so black and white. So, and it's sort of become that this week, which I hadn't, because it's showing it, it's suddenly it was a sort of more controversial than I realised. But I know that from the audiences that I've shown it to and test screen with, which is a lot in England and here, was that when a teenager watches it, they don't watch it from the same perspective as an adult. They watch it feeling like the girls. So they feel like Emily, and they feel like they're in love. And that, I think, that then they see the sadness and the overwhelming thing of how tragic it is and how sad it is. And if they had just given themselves one more day, one more moment, and got some more life experience, it would have been okay, and it does get better. And that's what the message from the kids was. So I think the risks of putting it out there outweigh the risks of not putting it out there. That's a very long-winded answer, sorry. Yes.
Why did China live? And I mean, why specifically? Why did one girl live and why China?
I'm going to let China answer. I'm trying to tell you.
What I talked about with Erica beforehand was what we sort of discussed was that China's pregnant and she has a life inside of her, and it's kind of it's a bit of hope in the film for a second chance. And then the other thing that we sort of discussed was whether or not China was going to tell anyone about the secret that they had, and we sort of came to the decision that it would be something she would carry with her for the rest of her life. So.
And I also think she's probably the strongest character. She would fight. I think the most.
I'm curious about the choice of a pastel vision. What was behind that?
I've been not. My dad is a cinematographer and then a camera engineer, and we shot on a special lens that he designed. And he's a massive, massive anamorphic fan, which is like the widescreen. And so much so that he's like one of the first proponents of CinemaScope. So I kind of just did it as a joke because it's pastel. So I wanted you to be, the look wasn't it, the name Pastel Scope is a kind of joke, but it made him happy. But the idea is that you're in the teenage mind and that you're in the extreme version, and it's super ethereal and it's super, and you couldn't get a more girly film. And it's pink, there's bubbles, and then it's juxtaposed with the other stuff, the deaths, which we actually just shot on flip cameras, and Jazzy shot most of those herself. And that's reality, and it ain't pretty. And I don't think by bringing up kind of this kind of subject, I'm not going to make an after school special, and I'm not qualified to make an after school special. But what I think it is it's a film that entertains as well, and sort of starts that, and you enjoy it, hopefully some of the time. Like the conversations with Taylor and Azure in the club, and it's just, so I think it was just a way of making it accessible to teenage girls, but then sort of, starting that conversation. And I've had women and kids come up to me afterwards saying they've been talking about it for like 2 days, just thinking about it, because you go back and rewatch the film after and you see all these things that you haven't seen. But yeah, it was just girly, super, super girly. Yes.
Was the mom cheating like a plot vehicle, or did that have something else going on with it?
No, I think when you're that age, you can be very isolated, and I think that you think that the world's let you down. So I didn't want the mom to be almost a sympathetic character. And I think it's interesting, I made her use of the internet too, because that's now, like Facebook is now leading towards a divorce, because you do end up checking out your ex-boyfriends and your high school sweethearts. And so it was kind of a little nod to the internet. But no, I think that and the fact that Jazzy was protecting, well, Hannah was protecting her mum, and then her mum was making similar mistakes as well. It was just add a layer to a complex layer.
What was the casting process like, and what were you looking for specifically with each character?
I had, the one word that I wanted was beguiling, and beguiling to me was beautiful, but it wasn't sort of stereotypically beautiful. But I wanted fairies, basically. I wanted to watch 5 fairies. And so the casting process was I wrote the part for Jazzy, which is played by Anna. I wrote the part for Azure, because I knew them. And then I actually called Jazz, and she was at Glastonbury, and said, do you want to be the lead? And she's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And the next morning she's like, did I say yes? And I was like, yes, you did. And then I Facebooked Adra and said, do you want to be in the movie? And she wrote back, yes, 1,000 exclamation marks. And then Chelsea is good friends with Eve Houston, who I was in my 27 club and another movie that I made. And I spent the night in New York with her and wrote a part for her. Audrey was a waitress at a local restaurant we have in Wilmington, North Carolina, and she served me brunch, and I found her beguiling, and the rest is history. And then I wrote a part for her. And then Jamie was an open casting call on Manny.com, which is like a website that people use for independent film. And I cast her, and I said no experience necessary, no headshots necessary, just send photographs. And for me, I needed a dark-haired girl. I never sort of cast my hair colour, but I didn't want to be blonde, so I would balance it out in my head. So she sent me a picture, and I loved it. I loved the look. And to me, it's always about the eyes. You cast it, in the look, it's about the eyes, and then it's if I'm casting 5 girls, it's about their intelligence and about would they get on in real life, and would they actually have conversations. And I think they're all wild, and I think they're all very smart girls. And even just being here this week with them, there's been there's no insecurity, and there's no sort of meanness, and there's just no, which is really unusual if you get 5 girls in this really quite high stress situation, running up and down Main Street getting a photograph taken. So, but the casting call with Jamie was that the night before she was coming, she sent me a tape then, and somebody was driving along with Jazz, and I was like, I have no idea what her body's like. It doesn't even matter, but it was only ever like this. And I was like, I don't know if she's tall or short, I don't know if she's fat or thin, I don't know anything. But I just know that she's got a really great face. And it didn't matter, like, that never mattered to me. It's always just, they are beautiful, but they're in a different way. And it's always about the eyes, I think.
Could you talk a little bit about your personal emotional journey during the writing and during the filming? Because obviously this takes you to a very dark place. I'm wondering if you personally let yourself just exist there, if you needed to come up for air during the process, what that looked like.
Well, I had the idea in about 10 minutes, which was kind of strange. And then, like, the whole concept, it hasn't really changed that much. And I went upstairs and I said to my boyfriend, I was like, I've had this idea, and he looked at me, he's like, you are nuts. But it just sounded it sounded smart to me, but it sounded interesting, but it just, and then during the filming, it was very quick, and we are a low-budget film, so it wasn't a great amount of days. And 5 girls, this is all, apart from Chelsea, this is all their first film, they've never done anything before. So, but I made it my responsibility to remember the layers and not the girls in a way. I said when I directed it, we didn't go into the backstory all the time, we didn't go into the levels of what was going on all the time, because I think we would have all been like, and actually the atmosphere on set was hot, because it was 107 degrees on most of the days, because we shot in North Carolina in the summer. And we only shot this summer, and the whole thing from here to winning last night is bonkers, and it's, it's a 5-month journey, which blows my mind. So, but now we kept it, we knew we were making something important, because and as soon as I put the 5 girls together, I knew that I had something, because it's a brand almost, you can feel this energy. So, but no, I just kept it, that was my job to feel it, and I didn't let it get into me too much. But when you see the film put together, I was like, ooh, and that's probably the darkest that I've felt. The silence at the end is always interesting, and the bump on the head is always interesting when you watch it with the crowd.
We have time for only one more question.
Yes.
I was just curious why the girl with the dark hair and the dark eyes, that her sister died in a car accident. I was surprised the moment that I saw the dead sister that she didn't really look anything like her. She was blonde. I was curious about the casting on that.
I don't think all sisters do look alike. She was a little girl I known who was 12, and she was a friend, and I said, would you like to be in the movie? And she said yes. She then put it on Facebook, and when you're 12, you put, I'm in a movie, and you get 189 comments in about 3 seconds. I put last night, we won the festival, or we won an award, and I certainly got like first 2 comments. So that's the difference. But no, and there was a girl who wrote the end music. She was a 16-year-old girl. I've always sort of been in touch with teenage girls, and so we've had a response that this is sort of fulfilling cliches, which that's the only comment that's sort of broken my heart, because it's like, if you know them, this is them. not all of them, doesn't mean they're suicidal, but there's elements in each of them that I remember still. So I always just try and encourage as much youth in there as possible, and she actually wrote herself into a flashback too, because she wanted her heart to be a bit bigger. So when Zoe's dancing in the slow motion, you actually see Heather in the back dancing, because she's in her mind. Okay, Heather, go on again. She's going to go far. But no, to me, I love the braces on that. That's actually why I cast it, because I love the braces. And I love the youth of it, and that you killed your younger sister, and you torn up your family. And I think Zoe, out of all of them, was always the one who was going to do it. And she'd have done it without going into a chat room, and she'd have done it without the pact. Because I think survivor guilt and killing, and it's so common, and you don't understand how